Chiefs fans would lose it over this trade, and Josh Simmons is finally back at the facilities. Let's talk about that. Chiefs Kingdom ACU crew, welcome in today, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing? Are you recovering well from the loss to Buffalo yesterday? Because I'm still a little pissed off about that one. Mike, how about you?
Still a little pissed off. It is what it is. I think, to me, you kind of expected Buffalo was going to play the game they played. I think what you don't expect is the Chiefs to always come out and just lay down during these big regular season games.
Yep.
And again, we'll get to all that in a minute. We asked everybody for comments, questions, concerns. We're going to jump right into that in just a minute. But first and foremost, we're going to talk a little bit about this. Our boy Jordan Schultz informed us today that Chiefs rookie left tackle Josh Simmons has returned to the team facility after missing the last 4 games to tend to a personal family matter. Simmons started the first 5 games of the season, was outstanding. His return is a huge boost for the Chiefs. Steve, we set X on fire last night with a simple tweet that said this: the Josh Simmons situation is 100% a family matter. Confirmed. Family is important, but it's been weeks and it's time to get back to your job. Sounds harsh, but let's be real. None of your jobs are giving you 5 weeks off for your family. Y'all barely get some sick days. People argued with that as if their McDonald's job was just letting them do what they wanted.
Brother, I said it last night on the live stream. It's time to get back, buddy. You've had your time. We respect it. We respect what you got going on. They gave him his time. It's time to get back to work. Mike, when you got guys going down on the offensive line like we saw yesterday, Jawan Taylor going down, Kingsley Suamataia going down, you have Mike Caliendo and Wanye Morris out there trying to block guys. That's a big red flag that you need your starting left tackle to get his ass back to work. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
That's just all it is.
Steve, we've been with this the whole time. Look, it was a family matter. It's confirmed. We know what you guys might not know. Josh Simmons may make it public. Who knows? But we understand why he's been gone this entire time. There's a lot of people out there that understand this. We've just all chosen to keep it private for his own family matters. Mm-hmm. The thing is, people speculated about all this crap because the Chiefs haven't really come out and said anything but family matters. People were thinking he's in a rehab facility, his legs fell off, his mom's dying of every disease you can think of. None of that is true. None of that is true whatsoever. Like, none of it. It's the furthest thing from the truth is what people's been speculating. So what he did handle was an important issue, Steve. It was absolutely important. But it's been taken care of, and it was time to get back, and that's all we were trying to say. And guess what? He's back. So guess what?
He
agreed with us, and the Chiefs agreed with us. I don't know why there was a big firestorm. So, look, a round of applause for Josh Simmons coming back.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
It's great. And like you said, Jawan Taylor going out last night with that little ankle. Now, if you need Jalen Moore to slide over to the right side, this isn't a problem.
Correct.
But if Simmons isn't back and you had to go with Wanye going forward,
that's a problem.
That could be a massive problem.
It's been a problem for a couple years now, and we don't want that problem. That's all there is to it. But yeah, Mike, I'm glad he's back. It's a perfect time for him to come back here in the bye week, get back into the rhythm of it, and be ready to go by the next game, right? And we kind of speculated weeks ago that he would be back after the bye. Mike, you said it 3 or 4 different times, so I think it all lines up perfectly. But everybody can get their panties out of a wad. Nobody's talking bad about Josh Simmons, nothing like that. But we were just saying, time to get back to work, and he's back at work. I love it. Let's freaking go.
Steve, we got some more news around the NFL today. Trade deadline's looming, and the Dolphins have traded
imagine that. Imagine
Jalen
that.
Phillips to the Eagles for a 3rd round draft pick. And listen to this. The Eagles even got them to eat some of the cap they owe them.
Mike, the Eagles are forever trying to put together a Pro Bowl team. This guy will stop at nothing but to stack a team until he can try to buy a championship.
Look, though, people said the Chiefs, nobody will trade with the Chiefs. We win too much. The Eagles are annoying, and they win. And the funny thing is, nobody has a problem trading with the Eagles and Howie Roseman. Right. Is he the only GM that will pick up a freaking phone and call somebody about this guy?
I think he's the only GM that doesn't have a salary cap. He's like the Dodgers of the NFL. He just goes out and buys everything
he has a cap, but he uses dead years. and dead cap space and additional years.
I guess you're allowed to do that because if you keep pushing and kicking the can down the road, eventually everyone on Earth is going to be dead. No one's going to notice what happened, right?
Right, absolutely. So he's basically found a way around it, Steve. And the thing about this is other teams can use this, but they refuse to do it. Brett Veach refuses. Now, he did do it with a Jawan Taylor restructure. From what they said on Over the Cap or something, they actually put one of those dead years onto a Jawan Taylor restructure. You can do this. And this is how to me, look, it's annoying as a Chiefs fan to know that we've got needs, and we had needs last year and the year before in the wide receiver room, and the only thing we would do was go trade back for McCole Hardman, or we needed defensive tackle after we cut Mike Pennell, and then we go trade for Derek Nottie, and then Mike Pennell gets cut because he asked to be cut, and then comes back and plays more snaps than frickin' Derek Nottie in his first game back. Make that make sense.
Right.
So it's just a little frustrating that Chiefs fans want to see. Nobody's saying Brett Veach is bad at his job. That's the furthest thing from the truth. But the thing about it is, it feels like we're never aggressive enough at times, and we allow fate and luck to play a big role. Whereas the Eagles sometimes just go out and be like, look, we're going to take control of our own destiny, and if we play good football, we're going to wipe you off the field.
Right. Yeah, Brett Veach has definitely got to be aggressive. We have no time left. The trade deadline is tomorrow at 3 p.m., correct?
Yeah, we got about 25 hours to the trade deadline.
Something's got to get done. Mike, there was a tweet last night, and I retweeted it, and I put up my thoughts. But someone said, I'm firmly on the team that if we had a really good running back, Andy Reid would use him.
Absolutely. I seen that one.
Okay, and I said, I'm firmly on the other team. When Kareem Hunt is averaging 7.1 yards per carry at a certain point yesterday, and we just went away from it and refused to run the football against a depleted defensive line that could not stop the run. They couldn't. They had no answer for it. And he still refused to run the football. You literally had the keys to the kingdom there, no pun intended. All you had to do was run the football, and he would not do it. They put 8 guys in coverage saying, please, run the football. Go ahead, Andy. We know you're not going to do it, and he still wouldn't do it. So what makes you think that if Breece Hall was here, or, hey, let's just go prime Adrian Peterson. Let's go Barry freaking Sanders. It don't matter who's in that damn backfield. Andy Reid is not going to run the football if he doesn't want to run the football. And guess what? Andy Reid doesn't want to run the football. It's been that way for 30 years, and it ain't changing anytime soon. So it doesn't matter who you have back there. If Breece Hall was on this roster, Mike, yesterday, he would have had 11 carries for 60 yards and 0 touchdowns.
The same as Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt had a pretty good day yesterday. There was 2 or 3 snaps maybe where the play was wrong, or we whiffed on a tackle or a block rather, and Kareem Hunt kind of got stuffed. But other than that, Kareem Hunt was pretty effective. There was certain runs where he was putting his head down and running guys over.
Kareem
like
Hunt
he
was a
not
dog
playing
yesterday.
Right. And people act like he's just some kind of corpse out there going through the motions.
Yeah, I don't get it.
He didn't play that bad. Like, that cat right there could have got 100 yards rushing if you'd have given him 20, 25 carries.
He didn't play that bad was an understatement. Kareem Hunt was playing well, and he still didn't run the ball.
100%. Kareem Hunt was actually the 6th highest rated player on our team yesterday, according to PFF, if you still want to listen to PFF grades. But the matter of the fact is this. He got 11 carries, and I'm with you. I say the same thing. I don't care who we got in the backfield. Andy Reid doesn't want to commit to a running game. He wants to win his way or no way. And that's what set us apart from Sean McDermott yesterday. That's what set us apart from Joe Brady. You might have a really good quarterback in the backfield, but right now they're relying on James Cook. And to get that 100-yard game, by the way, only the 17th 100-yard game that a Spags defense has given up since he's been in KC since 2019. And the first one we've given up since the Raiders on Christmas 2 years ago.
Right.
They made sure he got it yesterday because that's how they win. They went 27 carries. Andy would never give a running back 27 carries.
No, absolutely not. It's
I don't
never
care if
happen.
you had Jim Brown back there, he wouldn't get 27 carries.
Right. So the running back thing to me is just out the window. But here's the thing. If Andy Reid really would run the football more with a better running back, wouldn't you think he would vocalize that to management and be like, hey, get me running back and I'll actually run the football? I think they are adults. They have those conversations. I don't think the conversation's happening because I don't think it's a thing. But something that they do have to be talking about, Mike, is our pass rush because it is non-freaking existent with our front four. If we do not blitz, we're not getting home. We're not putting any pressure on quarterbacks. There were plays yesterday where Josh Allen had 6 seconds and time to eat a snack before he passed it to a wide open tight end that had no one near him.
Yeah.
It's the same song and dance over and over again. We have to be able to put pressure on a quarterback in the NFL. It doesn't matter if it's Marcus Mariota or Josh Allen. If you give them that much time, they're going to find someone open and they're going to make you pay for it. We have to fix it.
Right. I think this one graphic kind of shows the tail of the tape of the game yesterday. ESPN threw this out. Josh Allen had the highest completion percentage of his career, 88.5, compared to Mahomes having the lowest of his career, 44.1. And let's keep in mind here, at the end of the day, the Bills were depleted. But if you let a guy throw for 89% and you allow a 100-yard rusher, you're not going to win many games. And by the way, Mahomes threw a pick and probably could have threw 2 or 3. He arm punted a few times yesterday, and Josh Allen never arm punted. Surprise, surprise, he played a flawless game like he always does.
Right.
But the thing about it is you knew this kind of stuff is going to happen versus the Bills. You know it's the way it's going, and you just had to come out and you had to be a little bit better about it. And the Chiefs just got out-coached. They were completely out-coached across the board.
Right. We're talking about pass rush and how we need a pass rush. Let me tell you how effective that is. Look at the Bills yesterday. First of all, they were able to rush just the front four because they absolutely knew Andy Reid would not run the football, right? So it makes it very difficult for a quarterback when you have 7 or 8 guys in coverage back there at any given time.
Yes.
So you got 3 or 4 rushing, right? And someone's like, oh, well, there's only 3 or 4 rushing against the whole offensive line. This should be easy. Nay. I'm sorry, but if those guys can pin their ears back and know they do not have to respect the run game, all they're doing is fighting tooth and nail to get to that quarterback every play with reckless abandon. That makes it very difficult on an offensive line when they don't have that advantage that, hey, we could run the football. So, yeah, there's a lot of things to that, Mike. There just really is. And if you think about this, Patrick Mahomes was pressured like 52% of the dropbacks yesterday.
Yes.
The only other games that I could find in existence where that happened was the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay and the Super Bowl against the Eagles. And that is exactly what that game felt like yesterday, where Andy Reid was beating his head into a damn wall and refused to adjust and do the thing that they're allowing you to do.
Right. How much of that is Andy Reid and the play calling and the refuse to change things? How much of that is the Bills defensive coordinator getting some credit and being able to mimic those things? Because you can't tell me other teams haven't tried to mimic those 2 Super Bowl matchups because we got dominated in those.
Well, that's the thing, Mike. Andy has to coach himself into that. That's the thing. There's 2 parts to it. You can go with that strategy, but if Andy Reid decides to run the football and we're running it effectively, then it's no good.
Yeah,
it's not going to work.
To you.
But if Andy literally says, okay, guys, we're doing this, let's do this all day, and refuses to run the football, then absolutely it's going to work.
Right. Credit where credit's due. I thought that, look, we didn't think in any, I thought hell would have froze over before you would have seen a defensive performance like that from the Bills. Maybe they've been playing with their food all year like the Chiefs tend to do. They had a safety that stepped up and played a lot better yesterday. Cole Bishop than he's been playing. Greg Rousseau, he tallied 9 pressures and had a half sack on only 28 rushes yesterday. That was the 3rd most of his entire career, and he hasn't been doing nothing all season long.
We made a career day for a lot of guys over there, Mike.
Exactly, but that's what the Chiefs tend to do. Let's get, Steve, to a couple questions, comments, and concerns from the Kingdom. Let's jump right into it. And if you guys got it in the chat, go ahead and throw those down there. We'll get to those if we see those as well. We appreciate you guys being here. Hit that like button really quick. And if you haven't, hit that subscribe button. We're about to hit 51,000 subscribers on YouTube. Steve, we're taking over the Chiefs game. That's what's going on. Here
Absolutely.
we go. KY, our girl KY says this. I tend to agree with your take on the live post game last night, Steve, where we raged a little bit. She says, we lost that game. We played like crap. Mahomes had the worst completion percentage in his entire career. Josh played like an MVP, but I take comfort in being able to admit all of that and see that despite those facts, they still only won by 7 and the Chiefs had opportunities to come back.
That's wild.
Right. That was the best the Bills had and wasn't even up to the worst we had. Can only go up from here and hope Veach pulls off some magic before the trade deadline. Steve, that was a very thoughtful comment from KY. She's completely right across the board. There are a lot of positives to take out of that. There's also a couple negatives to take out of this. For one, we see that Andy Reid was on a uptrend of being more aggressive. And this game, he backed off of it.
Yes.
That getting stopped to that Hollywood Brown play that got stopped before the half, literally inches out of the goal line, and we run 3 of the most horrific plays you've ever seen. Botched the play clock. We should have passed on first down, not ran the ball on first down. There were several things that you could have done differently there as coaches, and Andy Reid ends up taking 3. I don't think you'd have took 3 back versus the Lions. I don't think you would have
You
took
never
3.
take 3 in that situation. Absolutely not.
So
If you
it
get
felt like he
stuffed
regressed
4
on that.
plays in a row, then so be it. But you do not kick the ball at the freaking 1 foot line. It's just not. That's dumb.
Yeah, it's wild to me, especially in a game like that where you could see that your defense was not putting any pressure on Josh Allen. He wasn't even starting to be stopped.
Yeah.
But appreciate the comment, KY. Steve, let's move it along. Andy says, run the friggin' rock. My
Please.
concern is lack of run-pass balance. Steve, we've talked about this time and time again.
It's the elephant in the room, baby.
Patrick Mahomes literally completed 14, 15 passes out of 36, 37 dropbacks. This was the most depleted, one of the most depleted defensive lines we've played all season when it comes to defensive tackle. Ed Oliver just got placed on IR with a pec injury. You had Daquan Jones out. We literally ran the ball, I think, 3 times with Bashard Smith, 2 times with Clyde, and 11 times with Kareem Hunt. And at one point, Kareem Hunt was averaging over 7 yards per carry.
They couldn't stop him. They
Even
couldn't stop
Clyde.
him.
Steve, there was people crying because Clyde got 2 carries in the game. One was a bad play call where the offensive line got blown up and he got hit in the
that was
backfield
terrible.
as if Clyde just went out there and fell down. And then his second run, he chunked off 7 versus that crappy run defense. But we never
Absolutely.
went back to it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Mike, I challenge everyone out here to go check some stats. Go back to all the games under Mahomes and Andy Reid era and just check it. And I guarantee you, if they rushed the ball over 20 carries, if they went for more than 20 carries, I bet their win percentage is ungodly. It's that simple. It's that simple. You have the best quarterback to ever do it. You have a great wide receiving core right now. You got the best tight end to ever do it. You have to run the football, man. You have to be smart.
I agree. We're going to get into more questions, comments, concerns in just a second. But right now, we want to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor for the rest of the season, DraftKings. We appreciate DraftKings. We're partnered with DraftKings. Take a listen to this message and we'll be right back. Football season is in full swing. We're proud to say that All Chiefed Up has teamed with DraftKings Sportsbook to bring you the best ways to get in on the action this NFL season. DraftKings Sportsbook has industry-leading live betting market availability, meaning their odds update dynamically as the game unfolds, keeping you right in the middle of the most relevant storylines in real time. It takes your fan experience to the next level. And when it comes to betting on touchdowns, DraftKings has you covered with all your favorite options, including first touchdown scorer. So make no mistake about it, DraftKings Sportsbook has all your favorite ways to bet touchdowns this NFL season. For this week's matchups, I'm eyeing some interesting lines, like over-under on total touchdowns for our favorite multi-talented tight end. Plus, maybe even checking out the odds for first touchdown scorer in that high-scoring rivalry between barbecue versus chicken wings. Get in on the action and sign up using our promo code ACU. With DraftKings Sportsbook, the crowd is yours. Again, shout out DraftKings. You guys, please bet responsibly. Steve, let's jump right back into it. Perry, our boy Perry, who's been a member for a long time. He said, I didn't get to watch the game, but followed on ESPN Gamecast. Thanks to All Chiefed Up. My chief concern is how Broncos, Chargers, Bills, Ravens continue to win, and the Chiefs are running out of room for error. Granted, they still have to play the Broncos and the Chargers, one more time for the Chargers, 2 more times for the Broncos. Steve, do you have any concerns about how everybody keeps stringing together wins, last-second wins, fourth quarter comebacks, 33 points? You even see the Broncos get given another game yesterday.
Absolutely. These guys are getting games handed to them on a silver platter at this point. They literally scored 33 points in the fourth quarter, and they have a terrible offense. And then yesterday, they should have lost that game 4 times and still won. So here's the thing. That's not happening for the Chiefs this year. We've noticed all those one-score games that we were able to win last year were like literally 0% this year. We're batting a big fat 0, a nothing burger. So it's a little bit different. Sometimes the ball's just got to bounce your way. Things got to go your way, and it's not happening for the Chiefs right now. The problem is, Mike, I'm not hitting the panic button yet. I still think this team is good. I think Andy's got to pull his head out of his ass sometimes, but this team is good. We need some defensive help, like with the pass rush, and that's about it. I feel very comfortable with them. But the problem is they have backed themselves into a corner. At this point, you almost have to reel off the next 8 wins just to ensure that you have an easy walk into the playoffs. Because if you lose another game, especially a divisional game, you're in trouble. You are effectively in trouble at that point, and it's going to be very, very tough going forward.
right? We've got 4 divisional games left: 2 versus the Broncos, 1 versus the Raiders, 1 versus the Chargers. And listen, you've got to win every one of them. You can't afford to drop a game to the Raiders. Come on, you can't split with them.
I don't expect the Broncos to win out. I don't expect the
I
Chargers to win out. But here's the thing, man. You have to think as if they will. Like, you got to go out and beat them. And you have to win every other game.
Yeah, we're essentially 2 games behind the Broncos and the Chargers right now because we've lost the tiebreaker so far. Let's jump into the very next one. Quiz E. Walker. I'm going to say Quiz. It could be Quad. I don't know. Q. Walker. What I saw was a team that looked very tired. Honestly, it looked like a team that held back offensive plays.
I don't know, chiefed up.
Not here, baby. I mean, you convert a 4th and 17. Okay, hold on. How can you say with a straight face you were holding back offensive plays and playing vanilla, and Andy Reid went for it on 4th and 17?
With the crazy play call.
With an insane... Okay, come on. Let's just get back to it. Here we go. Yeah, it looked like a vanilla offensive game plan. We still have reinforcements coming. I'm never one to blame a loss on injuries, but we need Smith and Simmons back in the lineup. You got that. The bye week could not come at a better time. Look, I agree with the bye week. But this whole every time the Chiefs lose, we had a vanilla offense and we held something back.
Brother, I wish we had a vanilla offense yesterday.
Let me tell you something. That is the biggest amount of cope that a Chief fan has ever come up with. And we parrot this so much throughout. Not we. Look, you cannot tell me that the Chiefs know that they are fighting tooth and nail to get win after win while everybody in our division keeps winning. And we're holding something back for a playoff game that may never come if you don't continue to win. There is no way. If we played a vanilla offense, look, you can say Andy Reid called a bad game. You can say he called a simplistic game, but you did not call a vanilla offense out there, or you would have seen halfback dive.
Mike, and if we would have solved that, we would have won the football game.
Probably would have won because they couldn't stop halfback dive, fullback dive, halfback toss. I'd have loved to have seen it.
It would have been
They
nice.
couldn't stop it, Steve. So look, quit with the vanilla, quit with it. It's not happening. That is ridiculous. To me, that is a slap in the face and the biggest copium to everybody in the NFL. That sounds worse than blaming refs, in my opinion. Michael says, who do we need to try and get? Do you think the Chiefs will trade for defensive line help? And Michael, we appreciate you, brother. Steve, that's leading us into this very next segment that we're getting ready to come into. We're talking about today, the Chiefs fans would lose it over this trade. And we've done a little bit of digging, and we found 3 new trade targets that we think the Chiefs could look at. We're not looking at anybody like Kayvon Thibodeau. We're not looking at anybody like Myles Garrett. We're not looking at Quinnen Williams. We're not even going to look at running backs at this point because I don't know if we make that trade and if that trade would even help us. We have about $1.5 to $2 million on the cap right now, Steve. We don't have a lot of room to work with. So we think if Veach does make a move, it's going to be some kind of defensive line help. It's going to be the Brett Veach special, which is a guy that was drafted early and never lived up to expectations, a guy you can still get on a really good rookie contract.
Right.
And we're going to see if he can overperform. So the first guy we dug up, Steve, the Packers, Heavy on Sports says this, the Packers' recent first rounder is a now trade candidate after the Micah Parsons deal. And who are we talking about? Lukas Van Ness out of the University of Iowa, Steve. Lukas Van Ness is a guy that we all loved coming out of the draft. Here's another article that came out said Packers could trade first-round pick after Micah Parsons' move. The Packers went all in with Parsons, but the superstar defender's arrival could spell the end of the Lukas Van Ness era. He was selected 13th overall in the 2023 draft. The Iowa product has yet to earn a starting job, but he's carved out a row as a situational runner. I think that meant to say rusher. Van Ness has actually, if he was a situational runner, Andy would never play him. So this would be a horrible draft. Okay. Van Ness has appeared in 34 games over the past 2 seasons, recording 7 sacks, 65 tackles, 14 tackles for a loss, and 16 hits on the QB. Steve, do you like the Lukas Van Ness trade idea here? And I remember we both liked him coming out in the draft in 2023.
The fans
coming
loved
out of Iowa.
him. He's an absolute unit. He looks like a chiseled freaking statue. The guy's a monster, right? So do I like it? Sure. I don't know if it really moves the needle that much, but I think it's a it definitely raises your ceiling, right? Lukas Van Ness can do some damage. It's just how would he fit into the offense or defense? I mean, and how much would they actually use him? You saw them get guys like Josh Uche and never put him on the football field. You saw Cam Thomas and never put him on the football field. This kid, to me, fits the script more, right? He's big enough to get out there and set the edge. He could do all those things, and he's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of talent, Mike, and I think it raises the ceiling quite a bit. Now, what would you have to give up for a guy like Lukas Van Ness? I'm not for sure. But at this point, does it really freaking matter? I mean, if you can make it work and you're not just giving away the house here, I think you go ahead and you try to make that move. Other moves that are out there that we've talked about, you start to see them slowly going away, like the Jalen Phillips one. If you don't make a move for Lukas Van Ness with a team like Green Bay, who is very competitive this year, don't get me wrong, they have some pieces on offense that if they could fill in, that offense could go next level. You don't think they're thinking about that? Lukas Van Ness is a perfect guy to trade away. Because like that article said, they went and acquired Micah Parsons. They have a pretty good pass rush to begin with. So now he's expendable. He's a good option for them to go out and get the pieces they need to continue to be successful.
They also pay a lot of money to edge rusher Rashawn Gary.
Right.
They've got two giant monsters there. Here's the thing. This is what he's done throughout his career. So you can see in 2023, he played okay. In 2024, he regressed a little bit. And then this year, he's playing a little bit higher, according to PFF, on the defense. And his tackle numbers are a little higher. His pass rushes went up a little bit, and his run defense. So he's actually played a lot better this year. This was a make-or-break season for Van Ness. But I don't feel like, to me, you have a lot of faith in the kid if you went out and made that big trade with Dallas and you were willing to give up all that for Micah Parsons. Now, look, I do understand that Micah Parsons is a game changer kind of guy.
Generational
not a lot of
guy,
franchises
right?
are going to go out and give up that stuff. The Packers are serious about doing it. I'm surprised the Eagles didn't try it, to be honest. This is what he's been able to do this season. He's had 2 sacks, 5 hits, 9 hurries, and he does have 8 tackles. He does have 1 missed tackle on the year. So, I mean, I think he's solid, Steve. I think he's a rotational guy. And look, he's dealing with a little bit of an ankle injury. I don't know if it was enough to keep him out, but they sure had him on the inactive list yesterday. So that could tell me Van Ness appeared on the inactive list versus the Panthers yesterday. Maybe they were cooking up a little bit of a trade and they didn't want to put him out there.
Maybe that ankle wasn't as bad as they made it out to be. Sometimes that's just how it goes.
Right. Let's move on to number 2 here, Steve. I was digging some this morning. I found another cat that come out just a few years ago out of Penn State, and that's Arnold Ebikitie from the Atlanta Falcons. And, Steve, I remember when he came out of Penn State, he was supposed to be a guy that you could pick up late first, early second, and was a monster. If you look at this dude, his arms are so long he could tie his shoes without bending at the hips.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, could you imagine him batting down balls and just using those to get after the passer? Again, this is what he's done this year. It's not been over crazy, but this year, right before the trade deadline, he puts up a 90.7 pass rush grade.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah. He was ready to be traded. He wants out of there, Steve. He's actually on the year. He does not have a sack, though. So you can see that he has trended over the past 2 years. He's trended down. His usage is trending down. Why? They drafted 2 in the first round this year. They come back into the first round and drafted James Pierce out of Tennessee.
Right.
They've got a new coaching regime, a new defensive coordinator. Arnold Ebikitie was drafted during the old regime. They could be looking to get him out. Now, look, is Ebikitie as much of a fit with us as Lukas Van Ness? Absolutely not. Ebikitie comes off the edge as an outside linebacker. He reminds me more of the Joshua Uche kind of thing, where he will not get used. Now, the reason I put him on here is because I thought it was a target, and we're not below going out and getting a Joshua Uche kind of guy, even though Spags isn't going to use him.
I don't know if he's necessarily all the way an Uche kind of guy. I feel like he's kind of in between the two, right? So I feel like we could definitely use him more than what they decided to use Josh Uche. Uche just didn't really fit with the defensive scheme at all. It was kind of odd that they went and got him, right?
Yeah.
So I think Ebikitie fits a little bit better, but Lukas Van Ness is definitely a guy that you could pair up with George Karlaftis and Chris Jones, and you could really start wrecking some offensive lines.
Nice situational pass rusher coming off the edge, flying off the edge. The last one that I dug up today, and look, these aren't the most sexy guys in the world. We've already discussed this.
How dare you talk about them like that?
Right. We're not trying to target the guys like, you know, the Jalen Phillips. We've talked about this, and apparently we've had no interest in these guys. But you asked, what would you give up for a Lukas Van Ness or an Ebikitie? Well, I mean, they give up a 3rd round pick in 2026 to get Jalen Phillips, and these guys aren't even on his pass rush level. So you should be able to acquire these guys for a 5th or a 6th round pick, you would think. Here's the last one I come up with, and I'm going to stick with the Falcons for the exact same reasons Arnold Ebikitie was on this board. And this is a guy that Spags could really like. He has got the size to kick inside and outside. He comes out of Ohio State, and that is Zach Harrison. This kid is a monster. He's a physical freak. He is huge. This is what he's been able to do this year. He's played in 6 games. He's very middle of the road. You can see his pass rush versus Minnesota in week 2 was really high. Over the past few weeks versus none other than Buffalo, he was at a 72 basically, a 78 versus the 49ers. And then for the year this year, in year 1 he had 3 sacks, year 2 he had 1, and this year he's already had 4 sacks, 10 hurries, and a batted pass with 8 tackles. So he is performing decently well this year, opposite of Ebikitie. But the thing is they've got a lot of defensive line depth over there in Atlanta, and if they feel like they need to make a move or pick something up for a draft for the future, because they're not all the way there, this is a guy that you could get. And look, it's not the sexy guys, but these are guys that are going to be cheap on the cap, rotational pieces, and these are the guys that Brett Veach is going to look at.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. A lot of the fan base likes to play the fantasy game where they're like, let's go get Myles Garrett.
Yeah,
let's get Max Crosby.
Not happening.
I mean, you know what? We have just as good a chance of pulling Reggie White out of retirement and making that work, okay? I'm sorry. It's not going to happen.
Right.
But these are the guys that he would go after for sure.
And guess who was on the inactive list for week 9 versus the Falcons? One, Zach Harrison. So look, we do a little bit of research on these, and look, I'm not saying they're going to hit. I'm saying, and Steve is saying, that these are names to watch. These are fun names that could be a realistic trade target.
Absolutely.
Again, not the sexiest. Steve, out of those 3 guys, I'm assuming you think Lukas Van Ness would be the best fit for the team.
I think so. I think everybody would agree with that. Plus, you got a massive ceiling with him. That's a 1st-round draft pick. He's just a unit, dude. He's an athlete. He's big. He's strong. He's fast. He can get the job done. I think that he might fit into the Chiefs' defense a little bit better than he's been fitting in over there in Green Bay. Possibly. So, I mean, really, we could kind of respark his career or spark it, depending on how you want to look at that. But I do think Van Ness is the best fit. There's a lot of Chiefs fans that really were on Van Ness, baby. The Hawkeye, they saw it. They wanted him. And obviously, he went really high in the draft to Green Bay. But I think that would be a perfect Brett Veach type move right here, Mike. And I think the only other guy that a lot of the fan base has really been on is Calais Campbell, obviously.
Yes.
This guy, he might be older than dirt, but he's actually performing well this year. He's still able to get out there and make an impact, and that's all the Chiefs need. We just need someone to come in and make an impact for this season alone. We don't have to go crazy with it. We don't have to get a guy for the future, but we just need someone that can come in this year and help turn our pass rush into something that's respectable, because right now it's non-existent.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think all 3 of these guys would be decent fits with the team. I think maybe Ebiketie's the one that don't fit the best, because I think you could take Harrison and move him up and down the line a lot. And again, I do know we re-signed Pennell, but look, Derek Notty's just not it. And we lost the pass rush when we lost Omar Norman-Lott coming out of that position. Right. And a lot of people, again, still dogging on Chris Jones. But I'm telling you, Chris Jones is, look, there's no doubt he's getting a little older, but he can still perform. He's still good at his position. The problem is when you're getting double and triple teamed all game, you're going to get gassed by the 2nd and 3rd quarter, especially when your offense is not committing to a running game. Steve, there was a point yesterday where the game started off and Buffalo had a time of possession on us from 10 minutes to 1 minute.
Yep.
So our defense was literally gassed by the time the 2nd quarter came around.
Yeah, and you know, they really stifled the pass rush by running at it. I don't know who would think to do that, but that's exactly what they did.
Who would ever?
And people want to bring up Chris Jones, and they're talking about how, he's not doing nothing this year. He's just non-existent. He's blanked every game. He's taking plays off. That's the big one I'm seeing. He's lazy. He's taking plays off. I'm sorry, but you go out there and you go up against 2 or 3 different guys over and over and over again, giving it 100% effort, you're going to take some plays off too. But here's the thing, man. Chris Jones he's got to get some help. The only thing that he's really got going for him is he has George Karlaftis beside him who has a motor like crazy. That's it. But there's nothing else there. We have to be able to free up Chris Jones a little bit and give him a little bit of a break, dude, because you can't keep doing what you're doing. It's not sustainable.
Absolutely. Let's get back to the offensive line a little bit. If you guys have any questions or comments, throw them in the chat. We're going to start getting to those right now. We've pretty much talked about everything we've got planned to talk about for the day. So we may stay with you for another 10, 15 minutes. We'll talk with you guys in the chat. Throw out super chats if you need to get it seen. We always accept those gracefully. Steve, I want to talk a little bit about the offensive line yesterday because, again, I think you look no further than the trenches. When you struggle or when you win, the trenches on the offense and the defensive side of the ball is where you win or lose.
Right.
And yesterday, the Chiefs' offensive line played one of their worst games of the season, and their defensive line could not create any kind of chaos or any kind of pressure on Josh Allen. And in return, you've seen them really press Patrick Mahomes all day long. And this has been a underperforming defensive line for the Bills. So if we talk about offensive line, do you want to take a shot at, out of our 5 starters yesterday, who was the most efficient offensive line, who graded out the highest per PFF?
I'm going to go Kingsley.
Right. A lot of people would say Creed, and you're right. It was Kingsley. Kingsley graded out with a 75.5. He had a 68 pass blocking grade and a 75 run block grade, which made him the highest offensive lineman run blocker on the entire team yesterday. Was Kingsley Suamataia. Creed actually finished with the highest pass block grade with an 84.4. Jawan Taylor struggled, Steve. He hurt his ankle there. I don't know when he got injured, but I want to assume for Jawan Taylor's sake, because when you take the penalties out of the equation, Jawan Taylor has been a very good blocker.
He's been a dog, man. He's been a dog.
Exactly. And yesterday, he had an offensive grade of a 44.4, a run blocking grade of a 39, and a pass block grade of a 61. He was getting taken to the woodshed all day. So
get beat on the inside.
Do you think maybe the ankle was bothering him at some point during the game early before he actually come out, or is that just cope?
I think that's a potential thing there, honestly. If you go back and you look at what he's been able to do this season, he's at the top of the league in sacks allowed. He's not allowed Patrick Mahomes to get sacked this year up until this game, right? And then you start looking at the guys that he had to face. You're talking about Greg Rousseau and Joey Bosa. So you can say that that defensive line was depleted and underperforming, but those are 2 really damn good pass rushers. They're both fast, they're both big, they're both strong, and they were beating him on the inside, which is where he struggles from time to time. So they did a really good job at watching the tape and figuring out where his soft spot was and exploiting it. And that's exactly what happened there. And hey, here's the thing, man. I would have loved to have seen him get more help over there, or even on the other side with Jalen Moore. I didn't notice a whole lot of tight end help. I didn't notice a whole lot of chips from running backs. Nothing like that. We just continued to allow these guys to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes over and over again. So I don't know if I hold this offensive line as the biggest reason yesterday. A lot of people jumped straight to that. Like, the offensive line was bad, obviously. Patrick Mahomes was pressured on 50% of the plays.
Yeah.
Well, not so quick, because do you really think if they were running the football 7 yards per carry, A, that this offensive line wasn't doing their job, and B, do you really think that they would have been rushing the passer as well as they were?
Yeah.
You have to take some pressure off of your guys. That's a coaching mistake. It's a coaching mistake.
Play calling is a big one. And again, if you look at Jawan Taylor, even as bad as he played last week, or this past week, I don't want to say last week, but just yesterday, he didn't allow a sack. He allowed 3 pressures that resulted in 2 hurries and a hit, but he didn't allow. Mahomes did not take a sack resulting from Jawan Taylor. So
he's still throwing a shutout.
Well, he allowed 1 sack versus Washington. So Jawan Taylor's allowed 1 sack all season long. In 9 games, he's allowed 1 sack. Guys, he's only allowed 13 pressures this season.
He's having a good year.
He was a little down yesterday, and there was a few snaps where he just got completely toasted. But again, in the NFL, it's not like Bosa isn't one of the best pass rushers.
Well, that was one of those
he doesn't
things,
get
dude.
paid to play the game.
I think a lot of Chiefs Kingdom was kind of irritated and pissed off when they saw Bosa go to the Bills, because it's like, as a Chiefs fan, you knew that we needed pass rush in the offseason, and that was an affordable, really good option. Buffalo ended up paying, I think, $12.5 million for the guy. That's something that we could have looked at, and it did piss off a lot of fans. Mike, let's get to the chat real quick.
Yeah.
We got Decimus. with he says, I think it's more Spags than getting another player. If we do get a guy, does he even play? So I can't get on this one with you because I think Spags has proven year after year that he is a good defensive coordinator. Now, does he have his flaws? Absolutely. You'll see him come to a head sometimes like you did yesterday. There's been several games where they don't account for tight ends. There's been several games where they drop into this horrid zone defense and just can't defend anything. But I don't think anything Spags can do right now outside of just blitzing way too much can help get pressure on the quarterback because he really is lacking in personnel. Like, I'm not trying to dog on anybody over there. I think Charles Omenihu is okay. I think Mike Dana's okay. I think Ashton Gelati's got a bit to go, but I think he's going to be good. I'm actually excited about Ashton Gelati. But none of them are there right now. So you got George Karlaftis and Chris Jones on one side of the defensive line over there creating pressure, and you have no one to clean it up. No one. So I think this is the part where, hey, let's go out and get somebody. And if you get someone that can do that job, someone that will get in there and be effective, Spags will absolutely play him.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there was one big thing where Spags kind of messed up yesterday, in my opinion. Jaden Hicks.
Yeah, dude, he didn't play.
We watched the tight ends really struggle. We watched the linebackers really struggle versus their tight ends.
Right.
And they were even getting zone matchups to where maybe Noel Williams was getting matched up late and having to trail a tight end and different things. And that was maybe the best games the tight ends for the Bills have played all season, maybe for the past 2 or 3 years. And we had actually been doing pretty well. I think we were rated 5th in the NFL versus tight ends to this game. But the Bills found a way to exploit that. And I would have counteracted that by putting maybe our boy Jaden Hicks maybe on a tight end. Let him cover a tight end. Like, he's big, he's physical. Jaden Hicks, guys, played 4 snaps. 4 snaps on the defensive side of the ball yesterday.
I'm not sure. There's been some weird games this year.
Guess who played 100% of those snaps?
Chamari Connor.
Chamari Connor.
Yeah.
Spags has got a really bad Chamari Connor problem, in my opinion. That is where Spags is really lacking right now, is he is just enamored with Chamari Connor. And look, I like Chamari Connor as much as I like the next guy, but he's just not it.
Mike, every time he sees Chamari Connor, Spags just goes nuts.
That's right, baby. Nice and slow. Oh, yeah.
I don't know why he loves him so much.
He does. He fires it up. Let's see. Let's get to the chat a little bit more and take a few more questions from you guys. Here's one. CJ95 just stood up and watched all night long. 90% of the plays anyway. Was he sick, hurt? That's the only acceptable answer. I think what you're seeing out of Chris Jones, to me, is he's getting fatigued quicker because he is getting a little older. I mean, come on. He's 31. He's just, in a way, I believe it's a lot of frustration with Chris Jones as well. The Chiefs haven't done tons to help him out on that defensive line. They've neglected that defensive line for years. Now, I do know that they've tried with the Felix Anudike-Uzomah thing, but like, whatever. He never worked out.
They've yet to go out and invest in someone proven. They have not done that.
Right. You've yet to really get him some proven help. Again, I thought that Omar Norman Lott was a step in the right direction, and then we put 40 pounds of hot dogs on him and asked him to do something totally different.
That was dumb.
Which was ignorant.
And got him hurt.
To be honest, he had been hurt the entire time because his body wasn't used to carrying 40 extra pounds. And then, surprise, surprise, a knee snaps.
Yeah, dude.
Wonder why.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Look, everything about that was ridiculous. They're not helping Chris Jones, and I get it. You expect a guy that makes the money Chris Jones to do to always be doing this and always be doing that and play.
Right.
He needs to be in an every play. I get it. Chris Jones has babied us to the point that we think that that's how he should do it. He had 2 pressures yesterday. He had 2 hurries.
Find me another defensive tackle in football that's going to get 15 sacks in a season.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, he's had a down year this year, but I'm telling you, it's because they have literally been able to double and triple team Chris Jones. And I get it. They've done this for years and years and years. But at some point, age does catch up to you, and you do get fatigued. Yep. And these guys are getting younger, and schemes are getting better. We can't always just blame Chris Jones. Like, at some point, the coaches are the problem here. and they're not doing anything to help this guy. Charles Omenihu's not doing anything to help. George Karlaftis played well yesterday. I don't think he played at a superstar level by any means.
Right.
So, look, he just has no help.
I'd be interested to go back and watch the all 22 and see if 90% of the plays.
Right. We're going to get to see that tonight.
I don't know about that, but we'll go check it out for sure. Let's get to Mr. Jazzy Arts here. He says, Chiefs leading rusher most of the year as a quarterback, LOL, and we don't need a breakaway runner. Man, we just told you why we don't need one. It doesn't matter who you have back there. Andy's not going to run the ball if you don't want to run the ball. The reason why Patrick Mahomes is the leading rusher is because he's dropping back to throw the football 50 times a game. So guess what? When he's got to scramble or there's an opening, he's going to take it. So, I mean, it doesn't matter who you have. Like, we could have Derrick Henry on this football team, but if you don't give him 20 carries in a game, he's probably not going to hit that home run for you, is he? Because he's not getting opportunities. Running back's definitely a position where you chip away at it, you finally see your opening and you get it, right? But that's not going to happen if you don't get the ball handed to you on a consistent basis. Kareem Hunt rushing for 7.1 yards per carry at a point yesterday, and Andy Reid stepped away from the run. So please tell me how anybody else is going to make a difference if Andy Reid won't hand it to a guy that's gaining 7 yards per carry. That's insanity. Yeah. So I can't be on that board. I'll never be on that, and I don't think the Chiefs will either. I would literally probably fall over if they were to go out and get a running back before this trade deadline. I think they absolutely have to focus on the defensive line.
So James Cook had more carries than Kareem Hunt by the second quarter. Okay. So, and again, what did he do with those carries? Well, let's look. Well, Kareem Hunt don't hit the home run. The Chiefs can't hit the home run. Steve, we've told everybody over and over, yes, there will be times where somebody misses a tackle and you'll go. There will be times where it's a perfect run call and there's a helmet on a helmet and somebody trips and you're just, you take an 80-yard carry. There's always those fluke plays. But for the majority of the time in the NFL, 99.9% plays, somebody's getting off a block, they're going to get hit. You're going to have to just chunk forward for 2 and 3 yard carries over and over and over. So if you want to look at what James Cook did on his first run, he got 4 yards. On his second run, he got 7 yards. You stop me when he does something amazing that Chiefs Kingdom would love. Third run, 3 yards. Fourth run, minus 4 yards. Andy Reid would have stopped carrying the ball right there. Okay,
for the rest of the year.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire lost 2 yards on his first run because of a bad blocking scheme, and I thought we were going to burn the city down last night.
Dude, go back and watch that. They ran the exact same play. They ran the play before that. They just switched the running back.
So here we go. The second possession, he gets an 8-yard run. He gets a 7-yard run. That's it. In the third possession, he gets a 1-yard run. That's it. In the fourth possession, let me see. What did he have? A 5-yard run. Here we are in the final drive before the half. He finally chunks off a 16-yard run.
That home run, baby. He smashed that home run.
It took him 10 carries to get the home run, and Kareem only got 11.
I was just joking about 16 yards being a home run.
I'm
just saying.
That's
what I'm saying.
So that's what I'm saying. These guys don't just go out here and chunk off 40 and 50 yards per carry like people think they do.
Yeah.
You have to, the run game is about consistency and commitment.
For sure. Mike, we got John Johnson over on Facebook. He says, Simmons is back. Can we move more to right tackle? So, yeah, absolutely. If Juwan Taylor is injured and not going to be able to play, you can do that. That would be great to have. That's the best thing about Jalen Moore right now is you got a backup tackle that can swing, right and left tackle and fill in if need be. Juwan Taylor, if he's playing, is a higher level right tackle than Jalen Moore, and they'll stick with him all the time. I mean, you can hate on Juwan Taylor as much as you want to, but we talked about this earlier. He's actually pretty damn good. In the last 5 games, he's kept the penalties at bay, and he's playing pretty good up until yesterday. He got worked a little bit, but who didn't on the offensive line yesterday? I don't think they'll do that unless they have to, but it's nice to have it in case.
Yeah, look, Jalen Moore got worked yesterday. He allowed 4 pressures, a sack, 3 hurries. He just didn't play well. Like, he really did not. And we just proved, if you compare it to the other side, Juwan Taylor only give up 3 pressures and no sacks, and Moore gives up 4 pressures and 1 sack, but we want to put him over and get rid of Juwan Taylor. It doesn't. The math don't math with the way people's hate go towards Jawan Taylor. And look, he's actually done a good job this year of cutting down the penalties after the first few games.
Yeah.
I think he did get a penalty yesterday. He got hit with a penalty. I don't remember what it was. Do you remember what the penalty was?
Was it illegal formation?
Or legal formation?
It looked like to me they were calling a false start. And I thought that's what happened, but then they ended up saying illegal formation, I believe.
Right. So it is what it is. I don't think that at this point I don't think the Jawan Taylor hate's warranted at this point. I just don't. Yeah. I think he's played well.
Mr. Jazzy Arts is back with the 5 bomb. Says, okay, how many more games do we see Patrick getting slaughtered due to Reed not having a great running back? Once again, if you watched the game yesterday, and I know you did, take the blinders off, buddy. It does not matter who's running the football. We could have Barry Sanders back there, and he will not run it. 7 yards per carry, 5 yards per carry. They would not run the football. If you run that football 20 times yesterday with Kareem Hunt, let's go 20 plus. That was a W. It doesn't matter who's back there if you're not going to use them. And it has nothing to do with Patrick getting slaughtered because we don't have a running back. It's because Andy Reid won't call the run. That's the problem, man. And I mean, I appreciate your point of view, appreciate the 5, but like I can't get on board with that. I just don't think that's a thing. It's crazy.
Steve, I can't either. Look, will you pull the comment down? Appreciate the 5, Jazzy. Appreciate the sentiment. I know that you guys are really fired up about this, but and look, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there telling you all this too. And of course, who are we?
Adam Best.
Yeah, who are we to listen to? Okay, everybody else is cooler. They're more famous. Everything else, they're just smarter. So don't listen to us if you don't want to. But here's my point: the Chiefs' first plays of the game was 3 passes, and they went 3 and out. They got the ball back, and what did Andy Reid do? He kicked off the drive with another pass, and as soon as they hit the 20-yard pass, that scratched an itch for Andy, and he said, "Okay, we finally got a pass to work, so now I can try to run the ball." Mm-hmm. So then, 7-yard run, first play of the game. This was a little trickery to Xavier Worthy, but at least they did try to put the ball on the ground. So Xavier Worthy got a carry, ladies and gentlemen, before the running back in the backfield. Okay. 3-yard run from Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice now got a carry before our running back. Are we paying attention? And it's not because who the running back is. It's because of the way Andy Reid's designed to do this. Now he starts. Brashard Smith gets a carry before Kareem Hunt got a carry. Okay.
That's wild.
Then you finally get a 5-yard. So Kareem Hunt's first play of the game goes 5 yards. Then you get a 6-yard run from Kareem Hunt. And then they go back to Rashee Rice for a 3-yard touchdown. Now, the moral of this is that on 7 plays that went 53 yards and put up points, the Chiefs ran the ball 6 out of 7. It don't matter where it came from, be it a wide receiver or a running back. It was ridiculous that everybody got carries, but the water boy got a carry. Bobby Stoops got a freaking carry before Kareem Hunt did. Okay. But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, 6 out of 7, we marched the ball down the field. We put points on the board, and Buffalo didn't even try to stop that drive. And where did the run game go? You would say, hey, that's working. Nope. Andy Reid said, well, that worked. Let's go back and do the exact opposite for the rest of the day. And they never had another drive that featured more than 5 carries in the drive.
We've seen Andy Reid's offense for long enough to know that this is how he play calls. It doesn't matter who the running back is. He's still going to do this kind of stuff. Just all there is to it. JCP, let the boy watch in the house with the 5 bomb. It's Elijah Mitchell. Why is he on the roster? Just saying. If we don't get some pass rush help, I might kick my own ass. Yeah,
I think a lot of people forget that Elijah Mitchell is on the 53-man roster. I'm going to be completely honest. I kind of let that slip my mind the other day. I was thinking he was on the practice squad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. The same people that saying that we need this breakaway runner, we need this great running back, they were so horned up to have Elijah Mitchell over the offseason. Yeah. How's that worked out for you?
Honestly, I think Elijah Mitchell could produce a little bit, but Andy won't even let the guy play.
Yeah, they won't even give him a chance.
What is does Elijah Mitchell just have rocks for brains? Like he don't know what a play is? Like
I don't know.
He forgot how to run?
Maybe he quit and he just don't want to play no more. He told him no. JCP also, I would kick my own ass if they don't get some pass rush help. I mean, that's a glaring, obvious just problem with this team right now. If you're going defensive side of the ball, but like, I mean, I think like Mr. Jazzy Arts and some of you guys, you're on to something. Yeah, we need a run game. I just don't think it's because of the personnel. I think it's because of the coach and the play call.
Steve, you just hit the nail on the head. It's not the backs we have. It's the coach that won't call the run play. So, yes,
Yeah,
you guys
scheme.
are onto everything. We do need a running game. But Andy will not. This is why Andy got fired in Philly, guys. Do you not remember this? This and clock management. Okay, he seemingly kind of figured out the clock management thing, but this entire getting too cute kind of stuff is just something he's never going to lose. Like, he's going to run that with him forever. We got our boy Doug. He says, got in here late, ACU, but man, really like that defensive line help with Van Ness and Harrison.
Let's go, baby.
Great looking out. Appreciate you, Doug. Yeah, like, I think those are good options that are affordable. I think they're good options that could – are they going to come in and set the world on fire? No. It's not going to happen. But I will say Lukas Van Ness could develop. He could very well develop, and he may – love the Chiefs. This could be a hometown kind of thing for him. He did go to Iowa. Maybe he's got some
maybe he's close enough.
Maybe he's got some
close
pride
enough,
here
baby.
with the Chiefs.
Midwest?
Maybe he wants to step up the game and end his career here. You never know. I think Lukas Van Ness would be a fun one. Steve, I would be pleased. On a scale from 1 to 10 on the Hornt meter, where would you be if Lukas Van Ness was traded to the Chiefs today?
I'd be pretty horned up. I'd probably let's go 8 out of 11.
10 Hornt.
8 out of 11 for me.
Yeah, a 10 Hornt would probably be like if you really like the Micah Parsons deal. That'd be a 10 Hornt, right?
No, that's an 11.
The
10,
1 Hornt
would be close.
Would be Mecole Hardman back. So so you're still at an 8. That's where you're at.
Yeah, I'll say around an 8. I think Lukas Van Ness is just a guy that I think the ceiling goes up. And maybe we can get something out of them a little bit more than they've been able to in Green Bay. Not that he's been bad in Green Bay.
Casey Stand-Up says, why do Steve talk so rude to people that give you their hard-earned money? I wish I would give you money so you can talk crazy to me. LOL, I wish you would.
Well,
Casey
give me
Stand-Up,
some money. I'll try it.
Nobody's talking down to nobody. We respect everybody's opinions here. But the point is we try to instill the facts of the situation where a lot of people – and look, this goes to X, this goes to everything. People are emotional more than they're factual. So everybody plays off the emotion, they play off the instant, the crazy. And after a little while, we try to bring the facts to the party. And you can choose to accept it or you can't. You can choose to be an asshole like you just did, or you don't have to. You've never given money to the channel. You're probably not even subscribed. And I don't even know I'm wasting my time on it.
I think he's just poor. He doesn't even have $1.99 to super chat and then say. He just says, I wish you would.
Well, I'd give it to him. You know,
poor.
Giving away those freebies to him. Like, people have a lot of nerve. They have a lot of nerve.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you. No matter if you pay to say your opinion or not, I'm just going to give you mine.
Steve, apparently, if you give $4.99 in the super chat, you should blow smoke directly and
right. We've definitely had super chats that said, hey, let's bring in Myles Garrett. I had to break it to them that that's never going to happen.
Right.
I mean, come on, man. What do you want me to do here? What do you want me to do?
They want you to blow smoke up asses like everybody else does for money, ironically. And, yeah, I mean, people are dumb. JCP, 5-bomb, KC stand-up. Why don't you let the boy watch eat shit?
Yeah.
Mike and Steve are from go. Look at that. JCP with a 5-bomb.
Love it.
And he told you to eat it. So, I mean, I don't care. Look,
JCP, quit flexing with your $5.
Yeah,
stop flexing on him.
Look at JCP being
That's not nice.
Being rich.
Let's go, baby. Gotta love the trolls. Gotta love the trolls.
Yeah, look, we're gonna go ahead and end it on that note today. When a slap nut comes in and starts,
you ruined our entire day. You ruined our Chiefs conversation.
You've ruined my entire day. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna punch a tree until it falls down or Brett Veach makes a nice trade on the day. But we appreciate you guys being here. There was over 500 watching all day long. Appreciate you guys. Glad we could help you out through your lunch break or your work day or whatever. Bryant with another 5-bomb. Appreciate you, brother.
Hear ye.
Hear ye.
Bryant's flexing too. Bullies, I tell you. Let's go. John Hale getting in on the mix, baby.
There we go.
Why, oh why, can't the Chiefs run a hurry-up offense? They won't do that.
Do you like that idea? I do like the idea of the Chiefs being a little quicker with their play. There were several times last night the Bills wasn't even getting out of the huddle before we were lined up and we weren't snapping the ball. We allowed them to get a timeout called.
Absolutely. We won't do it. Dude, they should have got up there to the line and just literally quarterback snuck that in when we were on the 1 foot line. Instead, we hum-haul around, let them call a timeout, set up, and figure out how to stop us. Because then when they had 10 seconds to think about it, they were like, oh, well, and he's probably not going to run the ball here. And if he does, it's going to be a delayed handoff 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So let's figure this out real quick. Like, yeah, I'm with you. I think that they could use a change of pace. The Chiefs are a team that are designed to attack you and attack you quick, but we don't tend to go that route sometimes. You saw Buffalo doing it to the Chiefs yesterday. They came out and kept doing a no huddle to try to switch things up. I think it's definitely something the Chiefs should have in their back pocket for sure.
Yep.
Appreciate the two
bomb, John. Okay, man, that's going to wrap it up for today. We appreciate you guys. Hit that like button. Share this with a friend. If you haven't sub already, we appreciate you guys. We're probably going to start doing these live on Mondays every week. I think you guys showed out today and let us know that you guys are here for it, and we appreciate you for that. So we'll probably start doing these Q&As live every Monday. So appreciate you guys. Hit that like button on the way out. Steve, you got anything left for them?
Nope. Subscribe. Share this with a friend. Let's get this channel booming, baby. We'll see you next time. Go Chiefs.
Get wild.